Hi, my name is Jack Parks. I got a channel here called Flamin' Groove Listens because I listen to a lot of music. And today I'm going to show you the 2024 releases that I got that are new music. This is not the reissues, and this is not, I got a lot of those too, but this is just new music. Um, the order I got from Discogs because I had them in, I had them do it by year added, and they have a, yeah, I don't know how they do it because it doesn't seem exactly right, but we'll just use it. I've pulled all the covers here, and we're going to show them. Going to talk a little bit about them, maybe, and this one, the first two are not on Discogs. This one I just got a couple days ago, and it's from the Oxford American Magazine, and it is a compilation of music from Memphis. Now, there's not a whole lot of liner notes on this record, which is kind of a special deal for the Southern Music Issue, Volume 26. And I'm not sure if I have the issue yet or not, to be honest with you, but there we are. Listened to it only once, but it's real good. And it's full of people I've never heard of. One Al Green cover of The Letter, which was excellent. And actually, everything was pretty good. Memphis. You can only get this from the Oxford American Magazine. Next up, the other one that is not yet on Discogs, and I'm too lazy to put it on there, is Ray Benson. And Ray Benson is the lead singer, guitarist, band leader, et cetera, for Asleep at the Wheel. Asleep at the Wheel is a great Texas swing band. And this one, Swingin' and Skankin'. Look at that guy. Anyway, I've been hearing Asleep at the Wheel since 1971. One of my favorite bands. This is a very interesting. He went down to Jamaica, did the basic tracks with a little bit of a reggae swing, and then he brought it back up to Texas and finished it off with the regular Sleep at the Wheel crew. Coming up now, these are all on Discogs. And this is the order they showed up on my stream on Discogs. They're not the order I bought them, but they're this one here, Wonder Woman of Country. Kelly Willis, Melissa Carper, and Brennan Lee. Now, if you want to get an idea of what these ladies sound like, Hardly Strictly Bluegrass, they live streamed their set this year. And these ladies all have their own careers. This record, you can only, I think, buy from them on their website or wherever they sell them, because it's interesting because it's a 45 RPM record with 6 songs. And it's the same 6 songs on both sides. Same, but that way you don't wear it out so fast. But it's pretty good 6 songs. Next up, Louisa Stanikoff. When we were looking, not real familiar with this. This is her debut album on Yep Rock Records. And I'm a Yep Rock Plus subscriber. For those of you that don't know what Yep Rock Plus is you pay them a bunch of money at the beginning of the year and they send you everything they release that year. And I've been doing that now. Well, I started on CDs because they were cheaper back when I bought CDs. And when they first started this program, not only did you get every release, you got free tickets to shows when they came in your area. You just had to email them and you got them. And I got to a bunch of shows. And then when the pandemic happened, they cut that part out. So Yep Rock, I got a lot of Yep Rock records, and some of them I don't really, they aren't my type, but it's a fun thing to do. This one here, We Still Can't Say Goodbye. This is a various artists compilation of musicians tribute to Chet Atkins. And it's got some good pickers on it. And it's just, if you like Chet Atkins, I like these kind of things. It comes with a nice book in there. It's good. I had to order that from, it came out at some place in Fresno. I don't know. This is the newest one. I just listened to it this morning. Lori Lewis is she's a local musician that is real good, sings and plays guitar and fiddle, and always has other great musicians with her. And for years, she's been making recordings with a partner who this record is the first record without her partner because he's developed Parkinson's and can't play anymore. But it's a real good record. Her partner actually did the painting that's on the cover. And then there's another thing in the back here. Let's see if you could. Not real good with doing this, but we're giving it the try. I like this a lot. And I think it's the kind of thing that Elliot Cruz might like, but maybe not. Who knows? So coming up, this is a compilation. Who came out for, look at that. I'm figuring out how to do this now. Compilation that came out for Record Store Day, Power of the Heart. It's a bunch of people covering Lou Reed tribute album. This one right here. So this morning I watched Mazzy's 23 best or whatever. This is one of the few ones of the same ones that I have. I like this one a lot. It's not probably my favorite of the year, but got to see him play most of the songs on here. He's an excellent musician. T-Bone Burnett. Oh yeah, the back of it looks good. So next up here, this one may be my favorite of the year. Dave Alvin, Jimmy Dale Gilmore. Love these folks. I've seen them a couple of times this year. I see them every chance I get. And this, 11 tracks. It's a great song. Great. I especially like Blind Owl, but, everybody's going to have their own favorites. Dave Alvin, Jimmy Dale Gilmore. Now, this was the first one I got this year. I know that. The Taj Mahal Swinging Sextet live at the church in Tulsa. And you'll notice I have a signed copy because when the email came saying it was coming out and first 100 copies got a signed copy, there you go. Got it. And there's a picture of the church. This used to be at Leon Russell's recording studio in Tulsa. And some people have bought it, and it's still a recording studio, live music venue. A couple of pictures of I'm going to get this camera angle shit down right one of these days. You'll notice that I took all the covers out of their plastic before I started rattling off to you. This is another favorite band, X. Now, this one's got the record in it because it's got the green inner sleeve because it's a green copy of the album. I don't know, when I got the email that offered this, they were out of one color and they had 300 copies of this color, and so I bought that one. I love X. Well, they had one album out when they came up here the first time, and I saw them, and I've been seeing them ever since. Coming up next, Little Feat, Sam's Place. This is an unusual Little Feat album because Sam, who hardly ever sings, sang all the songs. And he's good. These are more bluesy than usual for Little Feat. Haven't seen Little Feat in a long, long time, but there's still 3 or 4 of the same guys. There's a couple of new guys. I've seen them on what do they call it? YouTube videos of shows and stuff. And a Nugs show, one of them. I find Nugs are usually better, but I buy a subscription for a month and watch a bunch of shows and then cancel until I see something else come up I want to see. Little Feat. First time I saw Little Feat, Lowell George was still in the band. And it was the first time of a handful of times. For a number of years, I had a friend, Richard. I love you, Richard. I had a friend that worked for Mr. Graham at Winterland. And he would be able to get me into certain concerts through the back door. It was real cool. You'd walk in and the guy at the back door would have your name and you'd be on the Bill Graham list instead. I mean, he couldn't get me into the Grateful Dead. He said the Grateful Dead had 400 people on their guest list minimum and then more. So, but he got me into a lot of shows for free, including the Sex Pistols. I saw them at Winterland, but that was the very first one. And then like 6 months later, I think is when I saw Lowell George on solo. So it was around that time period. Next up is another compilation, Country Music Celebration of Petty Country. And I'll be right honest with you. I've only listened to this one once. It's got lots of different people on it, and it's pretty good. It's Tom Petty songs. What do we got? Chris Stapleton, Thomas Rhett, Lucas Combs, Dolly Parton, Justin Moore, Dierks Bentley, Lady A, Jamie Johnson, Brothers Osborne, Wynonna Judd and Lainey Wilson, Willie Nelson and Lucas Nelson, Eli Young Band, Ryan Hurd featuring Carly Pierce, Steve Earle, Margot Price featuring Mike Campbell, Midland, the Cadillac 3, Marty Stewart and his Fabulous Superlatives. I love him. I got the Sweetheart of the Rodeo, but since it's really not a new, I could have pulled that one. It was a new record store day, the live one. Rhiannon Giddens and George Strait. I got to spend more time with it, but as you'll see, I buy way too many records, so I don't get to listen to them quite enough. Here's one. Once in a Lifetime. One More Lifetime. John Hurlbut and Jorma Kokkonen. Now, y'all know who Jorma is, the guy, Hot Tuna, Jefferson Airplane. John is one of his neighbors. And during the pandemic at Fur Peace Ranch, they used to do a live stream every Saturday night from Fur Peace Ranch. And Jorma would sit there and play music and tell stories for an hour or two. Many of these, I believe, are still up on YouTube. I watched them almost every week once I discovered them. And John Hurlbut, his neighbor, joined him quite a few times. And by the end of the year, this is their second LP together. Their first one came out in 2023, so I didn't pull it, but I got it. I like them. Next up, Sue Foley. Let's go this way for a while. Sue Foley. I got an opportunity to see Sue Foley years ago. I liked her. I bought a couple of her CDs, I think. Maybe only one that I bought. But I saw this year. I kind of went on a wild ass record buy one day, and I saw this, and it says it's a tribute to the female pioneers of guitar. So what she's done here is play all these records, all these songs that older women stars have done it, guitar players have done it in the past. It's a real nice little, mostly acoustic record. These next two, this one I know came out in 2024. And this one, it may have actually come out in 2023, but this is Noise for Now 1 and Noise for Now 2. And, you know, it's some charity. I don't know what it is. I think Women's Right or something. But it's a whole bunch of different people doing a whole bunch of different songs. But it's not a tribute album. You know, these are new songs. And they're done by current artists. Not very familiar with most of them. J.D. McPherson. Beautiful album cover. I like J.D. McPherson. I can't say that I'm real familiar with him. I think I saw him a long time ago in a band, but I'm not 100% sure. But I got a couple of his records, and they're good. New West record on that one. New West offers that get everything for, you know, at the beginning of the year last year. I thought about buying it, but I didn't. I've ended up buying a couple of New West records. Here's one. Ruthie Foster. This is called Mileage. Ruthie Foster is a great songwriter. She plays guitar wonderfully. And I've been fortunate enough to see her many times, but often solo or maybe with a trio. Although if you go on YouTube, you can find her with a full band once in a while. But, you know, it's you can only do full big bands once or twice a year if you're not making a lot of money. If she's very soulful. She's got about 14 or 15 CDs out, but she only put vinyl out. This one and the one before is out on vinyl. Okay, next up on the list. Well, you know, the Rolling Stones, they keep making music. There's a live record featuring the Sweet Sounds of Heaven with Lady Gaga. It's interesting. It's not as good as Get Your Ya-Ya's Out. They're not nearly as young, but it's the Rolling Stones. You got to have it. There's another one of my Yep Rock records that I got, Steep Canyon Ranger live at Greenfield Lake. I'd never heard of Steep Canyon Ranger until I started getting their records because I was buying all the Yep Rock, you know, which you get everything they release, and they released a bunch of his stuff, and it's pretty good stuff. And this is a live record. And I believe, I can't remember now. I believe that this came with a DVD, but I haven't watched it yet. But maybe I'm wrong on that because I make lots of mistakes. Old man, you know, you get to do that when you're old. Another Yep Rock, Flesh Tones, The Gelling Tale. It's Getting Late. Terrible, terrible, terrible writing. It's Getting Late. And more songs about werewolves. I got another Flesh Tone album from a long time ago, from before they were on Yep Rock, I think. But it's good. It's good. It's not. Now this might be one of my favorites of the year. This and Dave Alvin are the reason I'm a Yep Rock Plus subscriber, because that's who they release music with. Nick Lowe, Indoor Safari. This time he's playing with Los Straight Jackets. I have got to see Nick many times. He used to come around once or twice a year and play at the Great American Music Hall as a solo act. And the last couple of times he had Los Straight Jackets, I got to see him when Jerry Watkins was in the band. There's a guy that I really like, but don't have any records he released this year, so I'm not showing him on this one. Billy Strings, isn't that a nice? If you don't notice it, it's a BS instead of an SS on the front of this. I think that's a Camaro. This car with the racing stripes like that. I had a friend in high school that had a brand new one, and it was that year. I mean, I graduated high school in 67, so this was like a 66, 67, I think. But Billy Strings is great. You know, great artwork, great car. You know, psychedelic bluegrass. What the hell? You got to have it. Okay, my only new jazz record that I bought this year, Hackensack West, Anthony Wilson. You've all heard about it. What is it? Kevin Gray's, produced by Joe Harley, engineered and mastered by Kevin Gray, all valved from the microphone to the cutting head. Sounds wonderful. I got into a you know how the kind of music you listen to changes over time all the time. And I was into a jazz thing for a while. Then I kind of switched over to classical. Who knows? This one here, I like this one a whole lot. I like this one so much. I sent a copy of it to Rachel at Rachel's Ghost. She thanked me for it once on air, but I doubt if she's ever listened to it again. Although you never know. She's a funny lady. But this is an album full of lots of duets with ladies. I don't know if you can read this good enough or not, but it's got pictures of everybody that's on the album with him. Dion, come on. He's great. I'll be honest, I think I've only listened to this one once, but it's new music, and I got it this year, so I'm bringing it up. Neil Young. I have tons and tons of Neil Young. Not sure. I know there was a period there that I kind of quit buying them when he started releasing so many all the time. But I remember this being typical Neil Young. The other day, I saw a YouTube video about how Neil Young's first LP is his worst and all this shit. And I'm going, you know, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've listened to Neil Young's first album. So starting the next day, I listened to Neil Young's first album. I go, well, that's pretty good. Wonder what the next one sounds like. And so I've been, you know how you don't always listen to people you like? So I've been playing one Neil Young record a day since I started doing it. On Thanksgiving Day, I got the 3-pack of Decade. That was where I was at. Today's, and I haven't listened to it yet, and I may miss today because I'm doing this video, is Comes a Time. But it's you know, I mean, these are all albums that I bought when they came out. Because I'm an old guy, you know, in 68. I was 19 years old, you know. Anyway, fucking up. Neil Young. Here's one. Can't tell. Another one of those records you can't tell who it is or any of that shit from the cover. One to beat, it says there. And it's got all these funny pictures inside. Well, what this is Bright Eyes' newest release. 5 Dice, All Threes is the name of it. And it's pretty damn good. Now, Bright Eyes is a band. I've seen them three times that I can think of right off the top of my head. My nephew plays drums with them sometimes, but he does lights with them sometimes. And he and my other nephew, Todd, my nephew, and what is the guy's name? Connor and Todd were pals in high school, and they started the Faint together, but Connor quit before they did anything. But That's a pretty decent record. Here's another one of my Yep Rock releases. Kim Richey, first record in 6 years. Kim Richey is probably not my favorite, but she's good. She's good. But you know, everybody, what do we got coming here? Another Yep Rock, but I think I like this one a little more. This is, what is the name of this title? Once again, you can't see it, but this is Alejandro Escovedo, Echo Dancing. Look, maybe you can look at it that way, huh? Alejandro Escovedo, he was in a punk rock band. What was it, Lone Justice? Or he's been around a long time. He got real sick for a while and was kind of out of the business for a while. He came back, and I've got a few of them. Another one of my all-time favorites. Joe Ely, Driven to Drive. I truly love Joe Ely. I remember I think the first time I saw Joe Ely live opened up with it was at the Greek Theater in Berkeley. I think he only had 2 or 3 records out back then. It was a long time ago. And he opened up with a kick-ass, Got My Fingernail Long on a click when they play the piano. Love that song too. His live albums, and he's got a few, and his Flatlanders. I mean, he's been around a long time, but Joe Ely, I don't know. You can't see I don't have. One of my problems with making videos is I see all these people, they make their videos in the same spot and they got their lighting all set up, and I don't have any of that stuff. I haven't figured it all out yet. So this is Emily Nenny, Drive and Cry. Fancy cover. It's autographed. This is a pink autographed copy of this record. Just kind of looked interesting. I didn't know anything about it. And I was in a record buying mood when when I go to the record store, I pretty much buy until I can't carry anymore. So I got it. It's pretty good. I got to listen to it again. But yeah, Emily Nenny. This is her second record. AJ Lee and Blue Summit. I got 2 AJ Lee and Blue Summit records, and I don't remember ordering them. About a month ago, they came in the mail, and I go, when did I order them? So I look, and I ordered them. They both came in, and they're both pretty good. They're the kind of stuff I like. I just don't remember what made me order it in the first place. Because, I see what the deal is everything seems to be backwards. I hope I'm not reversed. It looks fine from when I'm looking at it, but this guy, Joel Grushecki and the House Rockers, Can't Outrun a Memory. So I was on the Omnivore website the other day because Omnivore released this year, and since it's a reissue, I didn't bring it up for this program, the Dave Edmunds Swan singles, which I had a couple of the Swan singles, but I bought that double LP. And also they had this. And Joe Grushecki, I remember back in the, I think, early 80s, I saw him once, and Bruce Springsteen hung out with him or something. The Iron City House Rockers is what his first band name was. And he's still calling them the House Rockers. No, maybe they moved. I don't know. But it's a really good record. No question about it. Another one of my Yep Rock releases. I can't pronounce Aoife O'Donovan. All my friends. She's got a sweet voice, but it's not really my. It's good, but sometimes good doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't cover The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. Most of these are the things she wrote, but it's getting close to the end here, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the only other album that I'm showing today that was on Mr. Maslow's top 23 list. Robyn Hitchcock, 1967. So Robyn Hitchcock, 1960. This is, this is a fun record. I was not familiar with Robyn Hitchcock and what was it, Soft Cell or Soft Boy? I don't know what it is. And I was not a big fan of his from solo records and stuff, but I got a Yep Rock free ticket to see Robyn Hitchcock. It was the end of the year, 2 or 3 years ago, over at the Chapel in San Francisco. And it was a very special show because he did the entire Bob Dylan album. Oh, Jesus. I forgot which. No, I didn't forget which one. I always forget the name of this one. It's the one after. It's before Nashville. It's the last one in the mono box. What's that one called? Oh, man. Get up and look at my cat. Well, I guess I should be talking if I'm over here, but John Wesley Harding, that's what he did. Damn, I'm done. But so the other day I bought, it's not a recent release, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because I bought it. Maybe. The other day I bought a box set, 8 LPs of Robyn Hitchcock. And 5 of them, While Thatcher Mauls Britain, number 5, number 1, what's your number 2. They're real hard for me to read, even when you take them out of the plastic. And then 3, so 5 demo discs. They're basically songs that some were released as singles, some were not. 5 of them, While Thatcher Mauls Britain. So they're very political, and these are all from 80, 82. And then the 3 actual albums that he put out during that time period. This box set came out in 2007, and I went in the record store, 1, 2, 3, 4 Go down in Oakland one day, actually after a doctor's appointment. I stopped into the record store and they had a used copy of this 8 LP box for $90, and I says, gotta have it. So my last, actually it might even be my least, new release of new music for 2024. Millions of billions, hundreds of thousands, millions of billions. Who's this by? Blitzen or something like that? Blitzen Trapper is the name of the band. They're another one of these Yep Rock bands that I'm not super duper familiar with, but then you get records that you're not super duper familiar with. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow vinyl enthusiasts, thank you for watching. If you watch, leave a comment. I'll try and answer. I don't know. And if I figure out how to do it, I'm going to. Oh, wow. You got to hit it twice. Didn't know that.